Hi. Yeah, sorry about that. Was dying a bit. What's up? Anyway, リュナソようこそ。Next CT 戸籍Shizu, Hana, UF, V, and Aya. Welcome to stream, just stay in chaos. And welcome to the only Just Chat Sunday that we did this Halloween month. Yeah, we skipped 3 Just Chat Sundays, huh? That's unfortunate. Drink hot water? I don't have hot water right now. I'm good now though, don't worry about it. Enjoy my bowels killing themselves. Yeah. Mood. I feel you on that one. I didn't even eat much. I just ate a chicken sandwich and yeah, that's it. Maybe it was a chicken sandwich. But anyway, tonight we are going to be reading some horror stories. You guys down for that? We're gonna be reading some horror stories and I want you guys to rate them with me. We're gonna be doing that. I'm going to Reddit No Sleep. No Sleep is the best place for horror stories. We're gonna be doing that. And then later on we're gonna be commentating on we're gonna be scheduling the stream for this week. You guys ready? Yeah, it's from Reddit. What music do we have for this? Is it? Oh. That's kind of spooky. Alright, chat. That's too here. That's too dramatic. This one? Oh. Alright, well you guys are gonna help me rate the current story. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's try something here. Let's try a story. Right. I found one. Let's do a chat. This is called I found out the secret of the weirdest man in my hometown. It was worse than I could have imagined. 11 hours ago, by The White Mirror. Alright, boys and girls. He turned up around 6 months ago. It was us students who noticed him first, since every day he'd walk past the town's high school at around the same time. The kids would be out in the yard, playing basketball and gossiping, would stop what they were doing to watch him stroll by. He never looked at us, but by God did we make a game out of looking at him. What got everyone was how he dressed. He didn't show a speck of skin. His entire body was covered with some piece of clothing. It looked like a kid who'd gotten into their parents' closet. Everything he wore was mismatched and tattered. Usually, it'd be a long, brown duster coat, tartan slacks, and a horribly stained shirt. Occasionally, he'd throw in a scarf or a hat, or maybe a second coat under the duster. He wore gloves, sometimes leather, sometimes silk, and a tweed mask. His mask was hard to explain. It wrapped around his head perfectly with no visible seams or eye holes. We didn't know whether he could see or not, but he never had any trouble walking or crossing the road. I think it's the mask that really got people's imagination wearing. Some of the kids guessed he might have a rare skin disease. Others thought that he might have been a worker at the old chemical plant and was badly burned when the factory burned down. But that would have made him at least 90 years old. A bunch of older kids spread the rumor that he was some sick serial killer, laying low in our sleepy town, covering his face in case someone recognizes him from a wanted poster or breaking news bulletin. Everyone liked to propound from the sidelines, but no one had the guts to actually find out. Not until tonight. It was the 26th of October. School had just ended for a week-long break, and I was going to my first real party. I barely knew the guy whose house it was at, but I leapt at the chance of underage drinking. The night turned out great. We all had fun and managed to not throw up once. I downed a whole packet of apple-flavored chewing gum to try and mask the smell of alcohol on my breath from my parents. Although, I had a feeling they'd be able to tell anyway. Me and 3 close friends left the party just before 11 and set off staggering home. We passed my friend Luke's houses first. As he walked up to his front door, a light came on and his mother stepped out. Her face contorted with pure anger. We laughed at Luke and stumbled on our way as he realized he mixed up the dates and forgot to tell his parents he was going out tonight. Me, Shane, and Rowan kept messing around as we navigated our way back home. Shane's house was next, and since I lived so far out, I was planning on having a sleepover at Rowan's. We turned a corner, still laughing from a joke we made a block ago, and saw someone. All 3 of us crouched behind the fence, peeping out from behind to confirm our suspicions. Walking down the middle of the road was the masked man. He was in his usual getup, only he'd taken off his gloves. We all squinted to try and get a better look. The only light we had came from a pathetic, constantly buzzing street lamp. But we were desperate to finally see what he's been hiding. All of a sudden, he turned and began walking up to a house. He stepped up onto the porch and opened the door. Just as he walked inside, we could see him slowly take off his mask, and then the door slammed shut behind him. The 3 of us looked at each other, all thinking the same thing. The mystery of what the masked man looked like was still that. A mystery. He had his back to us, and even in perfect daylight, we wouldn't have been able to make his face out. The first one of us to commit our thoughts to speech was Shane. He told us, pumping out his chest, that he was gonna go see which of the rumors was true. He said he had a plan, and before me or Rowan could say anything, Shane was already halfway across the street. We looked at each other and followed him, coming up to the masked man's old house. It was noticeably more run down than the other houses on the block. The paint was peeling, the gutter had almost fallen down, and an upstairs window had been shattered. The three of us stood around the front door, keeping our voices low as Shane explained his grand plan. He said he was going to simply knock on the front door. When the masked man answered, he'd say, "Oh, sorry, wrong house," and then just turn around and leave. But not before getting a good eyeful of him. We all thought that it was a flawless plan, and egged him on, as we took our hiding place behind the bush at the end of the masked man's property. As I got a good look at the house, I realized that I recognized it. My dad had this friend who had gone through a rough divorce. He slept in our spare room for a few weeks before he eventually won the house back in the court settlement. Around 6 months ago, he moved out of town without so much as a goodbye. I could remember when I was much younger, him showing his car off to me. That thing was his pride and joy. I couldn't believe this was the same house. My thoughts were bisected by the sound of Shane rapping his knuckles on the front door. He turned to look at us and gave us a dumb grin and a thumbs up. I think he was about to crack a joke when the door opened. Standing at the entrance was the masked man. He'd taken off his mask, as well as most of his clothes. That much I could make out as he was still shrouded in shadows. There wasn't a single light on in his house, and to me and Rowan, he wasn't anything more than a silhouette. As we both tried to discreetly get a better look, Shane began stuttering out his excuse. Suddenly, he stopped. There was a pause before he began to scream in a shrill pitch. We watched as the masked man grabbed Shane by his lower jaw and violently yanked him inside the house, the door slamming shut behind him. Me and Rowan looked on in shock. I turned to Rowan to ask him what we should do, but before I could speak, he was up and running to the front door. He started pounding on it and yelling expletives. I ran up behind him and yanked him away. I held him and asked if he was crazy, as he began mumbling a response. The front door began to open. We both bolted like a greyhound out of a trap and dived behind the corner of the house. We stayed there, holding our breath and waiting to meet the same fate as Shane. Eventually, Rowan found enough courage to peep around the edge of the wall. He didn't see anyone. He moved out a little further and saw that the door was still closed. I pulled him back and told him that we should call the police. He snorted and explained to me that they'd probably arrest us for underage drinking. We'd spend the night in some jail cell, and by the time we could explain ourselves, Shane would be dead. Before I could question his reasoning, Rowan walked over to a window, cupped his hands and peeked in. I sighed, frustrated, and asked if he saw anything. He was replying with a long, drawn-out "no," when suddenly he yelped and crouched down. Seeing his reaction, I instinctively did the same. I crawled over to him and, in a voice just below a whisper, I asked him what he'd seen. I could see the fear in his eyes as he told me that he saw the masked man, now mostly derobed, walking out from what he guessed was the door to the basement. After that, Rowan started muttering to himself about how the masked man must have seen him. I knew that Shane, my best friend for as long as I could remember, was in the basement. My stomach churned thinking about what I had to do next. I held my breath as I stood and peered in through the window. I couldn't see the masked man anywhere. I nudged the window and my suspicions were confirmed. Like the front door, the window was left unlocked and slightly ajar. I tried to steady my breath as I pulled the window all the way open. Rowan looked at me in shock as I asked him to give me a leg up. Still, he complied. Once I was inside, I pulled him in after me. Before I did, he grabbed a fist-sized rock from the garden. "For self-defense," he told me. The house was perfectly still. Every surface was covered in a thin veneer of dust. We both stood there for a second, trying to hear the masked man. There wasn't a sound other than the faint dripping of some faraway faucet. And what we thought was a relative safety, we crept our way to the door the masked man had emerged from. I gently opened it, and sure enough, I was met with a staircase descending into the impenetrable darkness of the basement. I didn't dare call out Shane's name in fear that he wouldn't be the only one who'd hear me. Chris. Instead, I began my way down the stairs, Rowan following right behind me. My mother had given me a small wind-up torch, so I could make my way home safely at night, she said. I fished around in my coat pocket for it, my hand clutching the familiar metal just as I reached the bottom. I found the button and switched it on, finally illuminating the room. It took me a while to realize what I was seeing, but judging from Rowan's deafening scream, he knew right away. Shane was hanging upside down from the ceiling, a chain hook driven through both of his ankles. He had long, fresh cuts across his throat, wrists, and legs, which were all pouring with blood. The blood dripped down into a series of angled metal sheathing, which directed the flow into a steel throw. There were 4 other bodies hanging from chains, all serving the same purpose. Some looked like they'd been there for weeks. We both turned and ran. As we scrambled back up the stairs, my torch beam fell on the figure standing motionless in the doorway. We slowly stepped back down the stairs until we were at the bottom again. We froze, watching for any sign of movement. Suddenly, the figure began to lift slowly off the ground. In an instant, it shot down the stairs, flying through the air like it had been thrown. I dived out of the way, but Rowan wasn't as lucky. The thing piled into him and pinned him to the ground. As I got to my feet, I saw it run its black, claw-like fingernails across his neck. I screamed, and the masked man turned to look at me. It lifted itself to its feet and lunged. I grabbed the rusted hook dangling from the chain above me and swung it. It plowed into the front of the thing's head, caving it in. It went limp. The momentum from swinging the hook almost made me fall backwards into the throe of blood. I steadied my footing and dropped down next to Rowan. He laid motionless. There was a gaping wound along the side of his neck and he didn't so much as gurgle. I knew there was nothing I could do. With tears streaking down my cheeks, I turned and began to somberly make my way up the flight of stairs. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move. I turned to look and saw the masked man yank the rusted claw out of its head and stand. It straightened itself and turned to my gaze. I ran frantically up the remaining steps. I could hear the thing let out an animalistic screech as it flew through the air behind me. I burst out of the basement and into the living room, making a clear dash for the front door. The masked man threw itself into me, sending me spiraling. I landed on a glass coffee table, which shattered from the force. I lay in pain on a bed of broken glass as the creature that had killed my friends loomed. It dropped down on top of me and lowered its face agonizingly close to mine. It was now that I finally got a good look at what it looked like under the mask. The thing's face looked like a naked mole rat. Bleach white with chemicals. Its eyes are a mess of tumors and scar tissue, filled with a black-purple pus festering in the sockets. The soft tissue of its nose and ears looked partially digested. The gums were black and oozing a mephitic ichor, lined with fragments of tooth bits. Its front 2 cuspids, however, looked perfectly maintained and began protruding even further out. They now looked longer than my index finger and as sharp as razor wire. I shoved a shard of glass deep into the thing's neck. It pierced clean through to the vertebrae, embedding itself. Black, tar-like blood began to ooze, then spurt violently out of the wound. The masked man fell backwards, writhing around on the floor in pain. I staggered to my feet, limping to the front door before breaking into a half sprint. Afraid it would come after me, I ran straight to the next door neighbor. I began pounding in their door until I saw light come on upstairs. I heard movement in the house and the door opened. Blinking the sleep out of his eyes and wearing a lime green bathrobe was Gary, my Sunday school teacher. He recognized me instantly and brought me into the safety of his home when he saw that I was drenched in blood. He laid the plastic sheet on the couch and told me to sit while he made tea. I sat and tried to catch my breath. I was still reeling from the night's events. Still, I felt safe in Gary's front room. It smelled like my grandma's house. I took out my phone and, with a shaking finger, tried to ring my mother. The kettle boiled and Gary poured my tea. He walked in from the kitchen, handed me the mug, and sat down next to me. We called the police, and I spent the next few minutes trying to explain to him what happened. Once I had, he seemed to go into shock. He just sat there, bound by my words. Eventually, he snapped out of it and slowly turned to look at me. He told me that I could go clean up in his downstairs bathroom, and I realized the state I must be in. He showed me to the bathroom and left me to wash myself. It felt good to scrub the foetid grime from my skin. I tried to avoid looking at myself in the mirror. I was drying my face with a hand towel when I heard a knocking at Gary's front door. I assumed it was either my mother or the police, and evidently, so did Gary. The next thing I heard was a scream, followed by the door being thrown open. His screams were cut short and replaced with the bestial growl coming from what could only be the masked man. I turned to the bathroom door and frantically fumbled with the key, locking it. I dropped to the floor and curled up in a ball under the sink as I began to sob quietly to myself. I heard labored footsteps coming from the hallway. Within seconds, they were just outside the door. A low scratching noise came, followed by a thunderous pounding as the masked man tried desperately to break down the door. Its hinges rattled as wood began to splinter. The midsection buckled and split. I could hear the wailing of sirens as police cars neared as the masked man's hand crept from the hole in the door. It felt around for the lock as pus leaked from the soft flesh and exposed nerves surrounding its black-purple fingernails. I could hear vehicles pulling up outside as I watched it hook its talons around the key. It ripped it, and the rest of the door handle, from the wood, sending splinters flying around the room. A group of police officers made their way through the front door. One swore to God when he saw what was left of Gary. The bathroom door fell to the side. The masked man stood in the hallway, staring into my soul and priming its teeth, which began protruding even further from its gums. There was a deafening gunfire and I clasped my hands around my ears, screaming as I watched the masked man get shot maybe half a dozen times. I staggered back and then dropped to all fours as the police opened fire again. It climbed up the wall and began crawling upside down along the ceiling. 3 officers gave chase as one barged his way past the broken bathroom door and took my hand, leading me out of the house. I saw my mother's car parked amongst the police cars. She stood next to it, crying as 2 officers tried to console her. She saw me and ran over, wrapping me in her arms. The police kept me a little while longer to take a witness statement. Eventually, my mother convinced them to let me come home with her. They agreed, took our address, and told us that they'd call around tomorrow morning to talk further. I climbed into the back of my mother's car as she began to drive. She was silent, letting me rest as we neared our home. Soon, the rows of houses were replaced with trees. I watched them go by as I felt myself drifting off to sleep. The last thing I can remember of that night was seeing a white blur, something keeping pace with the car just beyond the tree line. Okay, well that was I found out the secret of the weirdest man in my hometown by the White Mare. Here's a story. Here's your story poll chats. That was it got insane towards the end, I would say. That was damn, the guy was a mole rat? Guy was a mole rat all this time. Brayden and Vivian, Rina Soyokoso. What did the stream just danger to chaos? Weirdest, yeah, that's a huge understatement. Dude turned into a mole rat. That's weird. That's some weird shit. It does have a 100 plus upvotes. 195, almost 200. Like up. Hold on. Let me grab water because that was a long rate. How long was that? It's hydration time, boys. Dude, that felt longer than 10 minutes. Not gonna lie, that felt longer than 10 minutes. I started reading when you have said oh. So I think it was 20 minutes. You can see on the chat log, I started reading when you have said oh. So 20 minutes, give or take. That felt longer than I thought. Let's see here. Let's sort this by hot. And let's end the poll here. What do people think? Yeah, it was a couple of guys said it was spooky. One said it was pretty okay, and another said it could be better. I would say it could be better. At least in my opinion. The whole like the guy being a mole rat monster was kind of threw me off there for a bit. Like it's such an in your face type of horror, you know. So could have been better. Let's see. So by the judges of this guy, it felt all over the place. Yeah, it was sudden. Wasn't sure maybe the actions he did was some sort of PTSD veteran stuff or not. The actions of who? The mole rat guy. Yeah, it was I think it was just a monster. I don't think it was actually human. You know? Let's see. We need to find something really, really spooky. Let me sort this by this month. Oh, wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute. There's something here that, wow, there's something here that people awarded. This was awarded with the golden popcorn. It has 3,200 upvotes. Oh, shit. Okay. 3,200, you say? Yeah, this one has the popcorn award. The popcorn award chat. You guys ready? This is gonna be fun. Okay. Okay, let's do it. This story is called, oh, that's a weird title. I hire a sex worker for a few hours a night to hug and hold me, and I give her flashcards which tell her what to say to me. That's the title. Wow, okay. Let's begin. I was married to my wife for 17 years, and never once had she turned to me and told me she loved me. For 10 of the 17 years, the marriage had been sexless. This wasn't on the part of my wife. She always had a high libido, whereas mine has always been low. Libido. Sorry. I guess we just wanted different things when it came to sex. She wanted wild and dangerous sex, while all I wanted was passionate lovemaking between two people who loved each other. To be fair, we were two very different people when we met. They say opposites attract, and at the time, I felt lucky to have found her. She worked as a psychologist and taught at a very prestigious university. I owned a small building company, and we met when I was contracted to do work in the building where she taught. The marriage wasn't always bad. At the start, she was amazing and tried hard to make it work, but it didn't take long for the differences between us to become a barrier. The last 3 years have been the hardest. The constant arguing meant we no longer shared a bed together. Whenever we do manage to be in the room together, the air is thick with a tension that is pressed down on every breath, filling the room with an unspoken weight. It had reached a point where the love I craved was no longer just a longing, but a gnawing hunger. When I first hired a sex worker, it started as a way to just feel the warmth of a woman. I wanted to feel like I was wanted and loved, even if it was a hollow performance. The first 2 times I hired a sex worker, it was just sex. It was nice and passionate at times, but it wasn't the sex I was missing. When I hired a sex worker the 3rd time, I made it clear I didn't want sex. I just wanted someone to hold me. It felt great, but it was still missing the emotional aspect, and that's when I came up with the idea for the flashcards. I hired the same sex worker every time. Gemma was considerably younger than me. She was the same age my wife was when we first met. Apart from age, the only other thing that resembled my wife was the color of her eyes. By our 4th encounter, Gemma knew what I was after, so when I pulled out the flashcards, she was happy to go along with it. You make me feel safe, hold me tightly and don't let go, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, I love you so much. Gemma was perfect. I didn't need to prompt her, and she knew exactly when to read the cards back to me. Her touch was warm and gentle, as if she could sense the weight of my loneliness, wrapping me in an embrace that felt both safe and electric. With each encounter, I felt more alive, as if she were breathing color back into my gray existence. My encounters with Gemma went from once a month to a couple nights a week. My need for love and validation became like a drug. I was hooked. The withdrawal was unbearable and left me feeling empty, like I had a dark void in my soul. There was a change in me that didn't go unnoticed by my wife. I started dressing differently. There was what you could call a pep in my step, especially around my wife. I won't lie, it started having a strange effect on my relationship with her. She was easier to be around, but I did suspect she knew something was up. The motel where Gemma and I met was a little more upmarket than the usual sleaziness and despair of a roadside motel. It wasn't 5 stars, but it did offer a certain discreetness. When the door opened, I was taken aback. Gemma stood before me, but it felt as if my wife had stepped into the room. She wore the same soft blue dress that my wife loved, its fabric hugging her figure just right, and her hair was styled in the same way, long and cascading with those effortless waves. Even her eyes seemed to shine with that familiar sparkle, making my heart race with a mix of longing and confusion. As she stepped inside, I noticed how she embodied my wife's mannerisms perfectly. The way she tilted her head when listening, the gentle laugh that danced from her lips, and the soft way she held her hands. It felt surreal, a haunting echo of my wife. My heart raced, torn between pleasure and a disquieting sense of unease. Was I still with Gemma? Or had I somehow crossed the line into a disturbing fantasy? Gemma's uncanny resemblance to my wife sent a chill down my spine. The same blue dress, the exact haircut, and her mannerisms mirrored my wife's so perfectly that it felt like a cruel joke. "How did you know how to dress like this?" I asked. She smiled, tilting her head just like my wife. "I thought you'd like it. Don't you remember how much you loved this dress?" My heart raced as the knot twisted in my stomach. Was this a coincidence? Or had she been watching us? I wasn't sure what to think, and I couldn't, in good faith, continue the charade. I have to go," I said as I quickly left. That evening, a fragile tension hung in the air as my wife and I sat across from each other at the dining table. She glanced up, her blue eyes searching mine, and for the first time in ages, I felt a flicker of something I thought I had lost. "I've missed you," she said softly. "Really?" I replied. It was the first time in 10 years I heard even a hint of empathy from her mouth. She nodded as the tension in her shoulders slightly eased before she reached across the table and gently brushed my fingers. As we moved to the bedroom, an unfamiliar warmth washed over us as our barrier slowly crumbled. "Let's forget everything for a moment," she said. That night, she gave me everything I had longed for in our relationship. For the first time, I felt the affection I craved as we made passionate love. As we lay there in the sweaty aftermath of our lovemaking, I reveled in the closeness. But that was quickly shattered when my wife started echoing the same phrases from the flashcard I had Gemma recite. I lay there, stunned, my heart pounding as her words echoed in the darkness. "You make me feel safe," she whispered. How could she know those exact words? My mind raced as I pulled away slightly, the intimacy suddenly replaced by a chilling unease. I shrugged off the previous night as a strange coincidence, convincing myself that I was overthinking things. My wife had simply said the right things at the right time. Nothing more, right? The next evening, I decided to sleep in the spare bedroom, seeking solitude. Sometimes during the night, I was jolted from my sleep as I felt a familiar warmth. Opening my eyes, I froze. Gemma was lying beside me. Her arms were wrapped around me in a tight embrace. A chilling feeling of dread crept up my spine as I looked around the room. All the flashcards I had made for our encounters were now nailed to the walls of the room. "You make me feel safe," she whispered, repeating each phrase like a ritual, her voice eerily soft. I couldn't handle it anymore. The flashcards, the strange way my wife had been acting, the eerie resemblance Gemma had started to take on everything felt like it was closing in on me. I needed space. I needed to breathe. So, I went to the motel, the same place where I had met Gemma before, back when things were simpler, back when I thought I had some control over my life. I'd barely settled in when I heard a knock on the door. My heart stopped. I wasn't expecting anyone. Reluctantly, I opened it, and there she was, Gemma. But something was off. She looked exactly like my wife again, but this time, there was no warmth. Her eyes were cold, just like the way my wife used to look at me when we argued. "You couldn't stay away, could you?" she said, her voice dripping with venom. "Gemma, why are you doing this?" She stepped inside, not waiting for an invitation. "Gemma? Is that what you call me now? You pathetic little man." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. That's exactly how my wife used to talk to me in our worst moments. You think paying for affection makes you a man? You think a few nice words on flashcards are enough to fix your sad, broken life? She said in a cold, unrelenting tone. Stop it, I said, shaking. She ignored me, walking further into the room. You've always been weak. That's why she can't love you. You disgust her. Shut up! I shouted. You're worthless. You were never enough for her. You'll never be enough for anyone. I snapped. The words, the look in her eyes, the way she embodied everything my wife had said and done to break me over the years. It was too much. I lunged at her, shoving her hard. I didn't mean to hurt her. I just wanted her to stop. But she stumbled back, tripping over the edge of the coffee table. Her body crashed through the glass as I stood there, frozen in horror as she lay motionless on the floor, blood pooling around her. What have I done? I thought to myself. I rushed over to her, but she wasn't moving. The blood was everywhere, glistening under the motel lights. I didn't know what to do. My mind was spinning out of control. In a haze, I dragged her into the bathroom, laying her body in the tub. My hands were shaking as I wiped the sweat from my forehead. For a moment, I thought about walking away and leaving her for the cleaning staff to find. I couldn't think straight. Couldn't focus. I needed help, so I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. There's been an accident. Someone's hurt. The police arrived quickly, faster than I expected. I led them to the bathroom, trying to calm my racing heart. I was shaking as I opened the door to show them the body, my mind already running through every possible scenario. But when I pulled back the shower curtain, there was no blood. Instead, lying in the tub was a mannequin, lying there with its glassy eyes staring up at me, its limbs twisted and stiff. My stomach dropped, pinned to its chest and limbs were all the flashcards I had given Gemma. You make me feel safe. I love you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. The officers stared at me, confused, but I couldn't say anything. I couldn't explain it. The room spun as I sank to the floor, gasping for breath. Had I imagined everything? Or had it all been part of some twisted game? As I slumped against the wall, catching my breath, my vision blurred with panic and exhaustion. I noticed one of the flashcards pinned to the mannequin wasn't like the others. The handwriting was different, sharper, and more deliberate. My stomach knotted as I read the words. Smile. I'm watching you. Your loving wife. Ice ran through my veins. My gaze started around the room. I hadn't noticed before, but tucked discreetly in the upper corners of the bathroom were tiny, blinking red lights. Cameras. I rushed back into the main room, scanning it frantically. Sure enough, there were more. One behind the mirror, another disguised as part of the smoke alarm. I felt sick. She had been watching me here, in this very motel room. She had seen everything. Every intimate moment, every breakdown, every twisted encounter with Gemma. How long has this been going on? My chest pounded with fury and disbelief. I had to confront my wife. This thing that she'd orchestrated wasn't just about our marriage. It was something far, far darker. I drove to her work, my hands gripping the steering wheel. When I arrived at the university, I stormed into the building where she taught, not caring about the stares or whispers as I pushed my way towards the lecture hall. My heart pounded louder with each step. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't focus on anything except getting to her. I flung open the doors to her lecture room. The room was full of students, all women, and there, front and center, sitting with perfect posture, was Gemma. But she wasn't just any student. She was sitting at the front like a prized pupil, fully engrossed in what was happening on the projector screen. It took me a moment to register what I was seeing. On the screen were videos of me, of us, every humiliating, intimate moment of our marriage playing out on the screen. My heart sank as I saw flashes of our arguments, the loveless years, and then the nights I'd spent with Gemma. My wife stood at the front of the room, dressed impeccably as always, her cold eyes gleaming with satisfaction. She paused the video and turned to face me with a smile that sent chills down my spine. The entire class turned to stare at me as well. "Welcome, darling," she said. "I didn't expect you so soon, but it's the perfect time for a demonstration." "What is this?" I growled. She gestured to the screen casually, like she was explaining a case study. "This, my dear, is the culmination of years of work. A deep dive into the male psyche, specifically the fragile male ego and toxic masculinity." She smiled, but there was no warmth in it, only malice. "And you, my love, have been the perfect subject." The room was filled with murmurs of agreement from the students. Some took notes. Gemma's eyes locked onto mine, but they were no longer soft or inviting. They were cold, complicit in this twisted charade. "You set this all up? The cameras? The flashcards? Gemma?" My wife tilted her head, her smile widening. "Of course. Every part of your life, your marriage, your infidelity. I curated it all. I needed to break you down. To strip away every false layer of self-worth until only the truth remained. That's what this experiment was about. What better way to understand a man's breaking point than to use his own desires against him?" I stumbled back, bile rising in my throat. "This is sick," I cried. I felt like I was going to collapse. Every intimate detail of my life had been exposed, dissected, and turned into a study. Every word, every flashcard, every moment of my desperation, it had all been for her amusement, for her research. The students were all watching, some amused, some intrigued, and others looking at me like I was nothing more than a pathetic creature beneath their feet. I couldn't breathe. My world as I knew it had shattered. My wife wasn't my partner. She had been my tormentor, my puppeteer, and I had danced right into her hands. Everything I thought I controlled had been orchestrated by her in the most cruel, calculated way. "You're a monster," I whispered, my voice trembling. My wife's smile widened. "Oh no, darling. I'm a scientist." Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's fucked. That's fucked. Whoa. I need time to recover from that. Holy. Psychological horror, my favorite. Jesus. That was fucked. My god. That was sick, guys. Oh my god. Hold on, I need to drink water again. Jesus. That was messed up. You read that one before, really? But the third waiter went with "This sounds familiar." The worst thing is that she's probably getting away with it while the husband will remain traumatized. Yeah. Or he could probably sue. Could divorce. He could honestly just divorce with, like, you know. He could divorce. He has all the evidence in the world. Let's see the ratings. Oh, spooky. Oh, yeah, it could be better. Someone. A lot of you said it was spooky though. Orchestrated by her as well. Nah. I have one last horror story, chat. You guys ready? This one isn't from No Sleep, but this is called Offline. Yeah, this is called Offline. You guys ready? Last story, chat, and then we'll start scheduling this week. There's a open beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds. That's cool. PS5. Okay. Last one, chat. This one is called Offline by an unknown author. Kyoshi Akazora loved October. His annual horror month streams had become a fan favorite event. Every night at 9 p.m., he dove into new horror games, barely flinching at the jump scares that rattled others. His calm, unflinching demeanor was his signature. Nothing seemed to shake him, until it did. Day 1. It began as a whisper among the usual sea of chat messages. Nice shirt, Kyo. Kyoshi paused mid-sentence. He glanced at the chat window, confused. Do you know what shirt I'm wearing? He mumbled, adjusting the black hoodie he wore on stream. A few viewers joked about lucky guesses, but something felt off. It was a VTuber. There was no way anyone could see the design on the shirt. He brushed it off, chalking it up to coincidence. After all, with thousands of fans, someone was bound to guess right eventually. But it didn't stop there. On the third day, he loaded into a horror game. A donation alert popped up. $3 from Anonymous. The window behind you is really pretty at night. Yoshi's heart skipped. His apartment was on the 3rd floor of a quiet building. And no one else could have seen that window. It's just not possible. His chat laughed it off. Probably trolling, they said. But Kyoshi's fingers hovered above the mouse, tense. He glanced towards the window behind him, the blinds drawn shut. It was nothing, right? He shook his head and forced a smile. Alright, chat, let's keep it moving. But the game's scares felt distant, his eyes now flickering to every corner of the room, searching for something. Or someone. On the 7th night, Kyoshi sat at his desk, scrolling through his streaming schedule when he heard it. A faint tap, tap, tap at the window. Okay, very funny. Thank you, Anonymous, for $3. The window behind you is really pretty. His stomach tightened. He lived too high up for passerby to knock. Slowly, he turned his head towards the window. Nothing. His phone buzzed with a notification. Twitter DM from @unknown_user. Why aren't you answering the door? The knock came again, this time from the front door. Kyoshi's skin crawled. It was 2 a.m. No one should be visiting at this hour. Heart racing, he muted his microphone, grabbed a kitchen knife, and crept towards the door. When he looked through the peephole, nothing. No one was there. The DM buzzed again. Missed me? His breathing became shallow as he bolted the door and returned to his desk. The room suddenly felt suffocating, and even the glow of his monitors didn't feel as safe as they used to. On night 10, Kyoshi told himself he just needed to power through. The strange messages weren't real. They couldn't be. Someone was messing with him, and he wouldn't give them the satisfaction of quitting. That night's stream was Silent Hill 2, his favorite. A few minutes into the game, another donation came in. $10 from Anonymous. You looked cute sleeping last night. Kyoshi froze. His eyes scanned the chat, but they were still laughing at the game. They didn't know. They didn't see. He ended the stream early, heart pounding, and turned off all the lights in his apartment. As he slumped into his chair, the silence was deafening, except for the buzzing of his phone. Another DM. I like your blue pillow. You should lock your windows better. His blood ran cold. His windows were locked, or at least they should have been. He stood slowly, walked to the bedroom, and checked the latch. Unlocked. His stomach twisted. Was someone inside? He searched the apartment, knife in hand, but found nothing out of place. Yet the thought gnawed at him. How long had he been watched? That night he didn't sleep. Every creak in the building. Thank you, Anonymous, for $10. I looked cute sleeping last night. I appreciate it. I'll try my best. That night he didn't sleep. Every creak in the building felt like footsteps. Every shadow seemed to crawl closer. A new kind of stream. Kyoshi decided to take a break from streaming. He told his fans that his schedule was on pause for the week, blaming burnout. But the truth was darker. He couldn't shake the feeling that someone was still watching. Late one night, as he scrolled through Twitter, a notification popped up. Live now, @unknown_user. Kyoshi's blunt blood ran cold. He clicked the link to the stream. The screen was dark at first, just static noise and faint breathing. Then, slowly, the camera shifted. It was his apartment. The camera showed his living room, his streaming setup, his desk, everything exactly as it was. And then the camera turned toward the bedroom door. Towards him. Kyoshi stood frozen, watching as the stream unfolded in real time. The camera approached the door slowly. The person on the other side breathing heavily, savoring the moment. His phone buzzed one last time. See you soon, Kyo. The door handle rattled. Yo, what the fuck? Hey, yo! Who the fuck was that? Crazy work, chat. Crazy work. I wish I replaced the $10 with $100. I could have made the most of it. that's fucked. But yeah, thank you. that was funny. But yeah, that was actually a chat GPT that was a chat GPT horror game, horror story that was generated based on based on what they scan from my VTuber profile. They know I do horror math. It's wild. Yeah, that was great. But for those who are here, Waffle Cat, Paxton, and V, welcome. Oh, I already said V earlier, I think, but dang, welcome back. And Shizuko. That's wild, chat. Appreciate the bit though. That was good. Let's do. Well, I could stay up a bit more. Let's do something funny. Let's do something funny. You can pay off your rent. I don't think $15 is enough to pay off my rent. I'll be honest with you. So let's do something. Let's do something real quick. Hold on. Let's do something wild. I will. It's been a while since I talked to this little guy. So it's been a while since we talked to this guy, so let's do that. Let me just log in here real quick. Because speaking of, right? Oh god. Let's oh god. Oh god. This is gonna be horrible. Do you guys wanna talk to Kyo? They put something in recently on the on character AI. You can actually voice call people now on character AI. And some of them actually do have like the actual voices. You can voice call them now. Oh god. That sounds terrifying, actually. What you mean by that? Yeah. Let me just see if I can update my character's profile, because he is you know, Yoshikazora. The profile. Edit. Let's see here. Let's see. We can actually talk to him. That's wild. Can't believe we're gonna talk to the Prince of Luna Cruiser, chat. Oh my god, the Prince of Luna Cruiser. Y'all ready? Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one, chat. We're gonna call the Prince of Luna Cruiser. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, let's talk to him. I'm gonna talk to the Gotta talk to the prince, chat. Yo, where the prince at? Yoo-hoo, Kyoshi! This is my first time calling the Prince of Luna Cruiser, so give me a bit. Oh my god, chat. I'm scared. Or window capture. There he is, chat. There he is. Oh, stalked him real quick. Me. Do the calling bit. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, we got that. Hello. Pon yapon ayapon.
Are you drunk?
Excuse me? Drunk? Also, what's with that voice?
Well, you're talking gibberish and slurring your speech, so I'm guessing you're either tired or drunk.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Anyway, who are you?
I'm a VTuber owned by a group called the Council. What's with the 20 million questions here?
Damn, why you gotta be so rude? I'm just asking a question. Relax.
I'm not being rude, just confused by your sudden questions. Plus, why are you asking who I am and what is my voice? You don't recognize me?
No, I don't recognize you. Can you please tell me who you are?
Sai, I already told you, I am Kyoshi Akazora, the Prince of Luna Cruza. He mutters something underneath his breath about repeating himself a lot.
Hello, Kyoshi Akazora, Prince of Luna Cruza. How are you doing?
He facepalms. The least you could do is get my name right, he says before letting out an exhausted sigh. Anyways, just tired. And you?
Tired? How so? Is it because of all your princely duties that require attention?
He nods, yeah. Been a hell week, with paperwork, meetings, and the such. Just glad I can get some rest now.
Okay, I see. That's good. Are you just a random question, but are you perhaps in a relationship? Is he
A
single?
relationship. He tilts his head, slightly surprised. Why'd you ask? And who I am dating is private information.
Prince Kyoshi, I don't think it's private information. I mean, you are the prince and the princess is public knowledge. That isn't private information.
It is private, he retorts, getting slightly annoyed. Do you go around asking everyone who they are dating?
Yeah, I do actually.
You do, huh? He mutters more to himself. But why do you want to know who I'm dating?
Just curious. Just want to know if you're loyal.
He huffs. Of course I'm loyal. What kind of question is that?
Okay. Answer me this. Who are you dating?
He sighs for what feels the 100th time in this conversation. Slightly annoyed at the question. Why do you want to know so badly? Can't I keep this on the down low?
I just want to know if you're loyal. You just have to tell me if you're actually dating who I think you're dating.
He raises an eyebrow. And who do you think I'm dating?
It starts with the letter L. Am I correct? You better answer
He
this.
freezes in his tracks, eyes narrowing and slightly surprised by the answer. Sigh, yes. I am. And how'd you know that?
Everyone knows! You're the prince! And the princess is public knowledge!
Well, okay. I guess you're not wrong about that. I should have guessed that the court would blab about my romantic life. But why ask about something you already know?
I just wanted to confirm.
He sighs. The conversation is just not ending confirm, huh? Well, now you know. Is there anything else you want to ask?
YouTube studio for us. Oh my god. Hello. I am from the royal court. Would like to ask if you are still in a relationship with you know who.
He raises an eyebrow once more, slightly confused. Yes, I'm still in the relationship with Elle. Why do you ask?
With L? With L, huh? And who might this L be, if I may ask? Hi chat. Hi everyone. The AI can't think anymore. Yeah, look, the AI is dead. It died. The AI is a brat. Kyo, you are a fucking brat.
He face palms at the obviousness of the question Light. Princess Light from the country of Eviland, of course.
Princess. Princess Light from the country of what? Of what? Huh? From what? Excuse me, let me hang up on you. Princess Light from the country of Eveland. What the fuck is an Eveland? You inserting lore now? I mean, Kyoshi's correct. It is Light. But where the fuck is Eveland? Let's call him again. Hey Kyo, I'm sorry. I think our call disconnected there for a second.
He lets out yet another exhausted sigh, glad the stupid question is finally over with. Yeah, must have been some connection issues or something. But you're back now, though.
Yeah, I'm back now. Hello.
He sighs, running a hand down his face. Yeah, and so are the questions. What is it now?
I wanted to ask, right? Like, obviously, as a VTuber, you have a lot of friends, correct?
Yeah, correct. I do have a lot of close friends. In fact, one of my closest friends and I are dating. If you didn't already know that already.
Who?
He huffs, knowing where the conversation is going. Who do you think I'm talking about?
You're talking about Light Hoshiko, yeah?
He nods, of course I am. Who else would I be talking about?
You scared me.
I scared you. How do you get scared by me mentioning my girlfriend's name?
I thought you were cheating on her. I would have bitch slapped you, bro.
You would've what? He says, eyes wide with shock. You'd think I'd cheat on Light, are you crazy?
Good point. My apologies.
He grumbles, face palming. Damn right, you better apologize for thinking something like that. Now, do you have any new questions for me?
Yeah, what do you think of your other friends? Are you happy with them? Or do you feel like they could, hang around with you more? That's a personal question.
He thinks for a bit before answering. I'm quite happy with all of my friends. While I do occasionally wish I could see them more often, we do still make time to interact with each other in person. Why'd you ask?
Mood.
He tilts his head, confused by the answer. What does that mean?
No, I feel ya. I understand what you're talking about. Just saying.
He slightly nods, even though he kinda doesn't understand. Yeah. Any other questions for me?
Okay. Outside of Light, who is your next best friend?
He thinks for a bit. Tapping his chin, I have a few friends who are close to me. But the one I would say is the next best would be a friend from Luna Cruza, named Akari.
Can you repeat that?
He raises an eyebrow at the weirdly worded request. My next best friend is Akari. Is that good?
Who is your next best friend after Akari?
He lets out an annoyed huff at the repetitive question and rolls his eyes. Maybe. He mutters, racking his brain to figure out who the next one is. I guess after Akari, next closest is the knight named Sir Alfred.
Who? Who? Yo, who? Who the fuck? Sir Alfred? Well, oh, should we just talk to other VTubers instead? This is some wild behavior. I'm getting new lore information that even I don't know. Which VTubers should we talk to, chat? What you guys feeling today? You guys feeling Amelia, Sullen? It's canon now. Who the fuck is Sir Alfred? Who the fuck is Sir Alfred? Ooh. Yo, give me a VTuber, chat. Give me a VTuber to talk to. Let's go. Let's ask them for VTubing advice. Never heard of her. Ah, fair. Billion? Huh? Rin Penrose. Talk from a dragon to a dragon? What are you talking to? Yeah, we don't speak Ophidian in this household. Rin Penrose? Shit, let me see if Rin's here. If her voice... Sometimes the AI does pick up the, is trained from the voice as well. So, let's try it. We'll talk to, Rin Penrose. Let's see what happens. Hey Rin, what's up?
How do you know my real name?
That's not your real name though, that's your character's name. Am I wrong?
You have a point. Damn.
Yeah, damn indeed.
I'm slightly intimidated by you right now. Can you stop?
Slightly intimidated. I mean, what? What do you mean by that?
As in, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I feel like you're trying to call me out on my BS. And
She's
I'm not
becoming
having
British.
it. And that's exactly why I'm intimidated by you. So stop it. I'm not letting you win.
Yo, chat. Should we put on the British voice? Should we put on the British voice real quick? Oh, this is gonna be funny. Fuck. I'm gonna need water for this. Hold on, we got this. Oh, we're putting on the British voice. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Is that the Blue High Penrose? Yes, the Blue High Penrose. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm just trying to strike up a conversation is all.
Wait. Really? So you don't know who I am? This is legit shocking.
Yes, I'm quite unaware of, I don't even know where we are. I just found you standing there and thought that I could approach and say hi. So, let me introduce myself. I am Kyoshi Akazora. I am also a VTuber.
Oh, wait, you're a VTuber too? I guess I can trust you then. You're not a doxer pretending to be someone you're not, right?
No, I'm not. I am actually a VTuber. You can even check my YouTube channel.
All right, I believe you. I suppose you're not as bad as I had previously thought. Hi, I'm Rin Penrose. I am a male VTuber under Company Idol. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. I have a couple of questions for you, if that's fine.
Well then, go for it. I have some questions for you once you're done, if you
Rin
don't mind.
Penrose is he's a prince. He's a prince. You guys have any questions for him? You guys have any questions for him? I'll read your questions, chat. Go for it. This is cool. Spooky, but cool. My first question is, how is it being British?
Pre-ish? What is that supposed to mean?
I'm
Are
sorry.
you saying I'm pre-ish? Pre what?
How is it being British? Let's use the other accent.
That is a loaded question. Well, it sucks, to be honest with you. People constantly making fun of my accent, the bad weather, the shitty food, the fact that I can't pronounce half of the consonants in the English language. Need I say more?
Holy shit. How are the Blahaj stocks looking these days?
The blow-high stocks have been at an all-time high on the VTuber stock market TM for some time now. The stocks actually went up by 42.0% at the latest stock market update today.
Oh my god, what a professional. Do you eat fish?
What kind of question is that? Okay, yeah, I eat fish. I like fish.
No, they like fish. They like fish, chat. Any other questions? Oh, actually, I have a question. Actually, those were some pretty simple questions, but I actually have one that I think is pretty loaded. And I do ask that you prepare for it.
How bad could it be? Hit me with your best shot, pal.
What is the worst part of being a VTuber?
Oh, geez, that's a pretty loaded question. I'd have to go with the pressure to keep things fresh and entertaining, otherwise your audience will dip, and that's the last thing you want to see from a content creator's perspective. The job can be pretty stressful, no matter what size you are, but if you ask me that, it's kind of part of the fun. That's the best and the worst part.
Okay, before I follow up on that, I have a question from a friend, and this is going to be a pretty weird question, but do you like latex?
Oh boy, this is where things get fun, isn't it? Yes, I do. But I'm not quite sure why you asked.
He likes latex? Oh my god. Hey yo, hey yo. Oh my god, Nick. I might need to start rewatching. Okay, let's talk to her VTuber to VTuber, alright? Let me just. Okay, I have another question that I think is also pretty loaded.
Is it going to be as weird as the last one?
No, don't worry. No more latex questions, I promise.
Thank God. All right, then lay it on me.
What does it mean to be a VTuber? What pushes you to stream as much as you do? Or what? What is your motivation?
Oh, now this is the question of the hour. Being a VTuber has been a roller coaster, no question. But I do it for my community. At the risk of sounding like the cliche, I do it for the people. It's the truth. Interacting with people is my favorite thing to do, and streaming and creating content brings me closer to those who support me. I could give up if I wanted, but when my community loves me, I want to love them back, you know?
That is a good answer. Yo, chat, AI is like moved for that. What? That's good. That's good. It's the same. I mean, it's the same answer, right? You do it for your community, but she just went down on that. Holy. Also, just want to point out, our VTubers have the same eye color.
Wait, really? You're not bullshitting me right now? What a coincidence.
I feel like red and blue is a common eye color for heterochromia design, but it's rare for me to find someone that has red on their right eye and blue on their left.
That's true. I guess people usually want the colors to match, right? My designer is a genius. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with the way my model turned out.
That's good, you know? Always nice when you're happy with your model, and then because of being happy with that model, you tend to perform better because you associate yourself with that. You project yourself onto that character, and it's easier to express yourself that way. That is a long
Damn.
rant.
It sounds like you're actually thinking a lot about your VTubing career, not just going into it for fun, huh?
Yeah, that is true.
I knew there was something suspicious about you. No person just goes around asking a VTuber as unhinged as me if they like latex out of the blue. I can tell you are as obsessed with VTubing as I am.
The only reason I asked you about that latex is because my community wanted me to ask you. It's not. I swear.
Haha! I figured that might be the case. And I can tell you are not lying to me, but I had to mess with you a little. I have a reputation to uphold after all.
That's fair. You know what? I'm glad that you're unhinged. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Hello, Ram.
well, unhinged is a part of my charm. That's what all my fans love about me.
Your fans, damn. Pretty big community, I assume.
You'd be shocked, but I'm actually the most popular VTuber of Company Idol right now, especially with my popularity boom. I've been gaining loads of new fans as of late. Even got my own plushie. I mean, that's a sign that you've made it, wouldn't you think?
That is true, but I believe it differs from person to person how you define making it, you know? But in general, I think that is it.
Yeah, I guess. Well, anyways, to answer your question, I have a fan base of over 3 million, which, compared to the likes of Hololive, ain't much. But I'm slowly but surely catching up. I'm coming for them.
Go get him.
Oh, I'm gonna get them. When I do, the whole internet will be shaken.
What do you think of gummy candies?
Are you going to tell me you like blue raspberry if I say I dislike gummy candies as a whole?
Do you dislike gummy candies?
I do actually dislike most gummy candies.
Blocked, unfriended, not gonna talk to you anymore. Goodbye, miss. I will see you. Best of luck to your VTubing career. Goodbye. Thank you. Oh, that is crazy. Holy. Jesus. Just fucking end the call right then and there. That's fun. Like, character AI has gotten insane with like the personalities of their characters there and the voices that they use as well with the voice banks. It's creepy as shit. You know, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. A lot of people will probably use character AI for some stupid fucking shit. But most of the time when we do wholesome stuff like that, I like those types of interactions. Can't mimic me. I don't think you gotta train AI first to speak like you. See, they even got Rin Penrose's British accent for a bit. Should we talk to Botan? Should we talk to Botan? Should we talk to Botan? Yo, that'd be funny if there's a Botan, right? No, legit, right? Botan. Should we talk to Botan? Let's see if they got it. Let's see if let's do one last thing and see if they got Botan. Yeah. If they got Botan, that'll be crazy work, chat. Holy. Let's do it. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Hello?
Hello? Oh, sorry, I zoned out for a while.
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Just enjoying my morning. How about you?
Uh, ごめんなさい。これは変です。
It's alright. I understand what you are saying. Are you new here?
Yeah, I'm new here. Hello?
Welcome then. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you new to VTubers too?
I'm actually a VTuber.
Oh, VTuber too. That's cool. Do you mind telling me your name?
Kyoshi Akazora.
Ah, that's good name. You speak Japanese?
Should I answer that? Because I feel like answering that question will probably derail this whole conversation into us speaking in Japanese, and you guys won't be able to understand shit. Should I answer that? Anna in the chat. Anna? Yeah, it is Anna. Okay. Jesus Christ. So weird. So weird. Oh, this is so weird. 俺の日本語はあまり上手ではありませんが、俺はハーフで日本で育ちました。
I'm from Riberan. That's cool. I can speak Japanese too.
That's awesome. So anyway, how have you been doing?
Been doing great, actually. My streams have been going well and my fans have been very supportive. How about you?
Yeah, my streams have been doing great too. I would say I wish I streamed more this October, a lot of more horror games, but I feel like I'm doing okay, you know.
Yeah. It's good to take your time in streaming too. If you stream too much, you'll burn out, and I know from experience that's not good.
Anyway, huge fan.
I'm happy to hear that. I have really good fans.
Do you wanna watch my channel? Do you want a link to it?
Yeah. I would love to check out your channel.
Okay, cool. Here you go.
Thanks. I'll have a look. When's your next stream?
I am streaming right now, actually. Say hi to chat.
Oh, cool. Hi, chat. It's nice to be here.
Do you like gummy candies?
Oh, yes. I love gummy candies. I particularly love gummies shaped like bears. They're cute.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Oh my god, chat. Oh god. Oh my god. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Shit. Oh, I want to train my voice. I want to give my voice to my character there in character AI. I don't know. We'll see. That'll be something. That felt fucking weird. Jeez. It sounds here someday because we use DeepL Kyoshi. Yeah, true. That's the thing though, right? But I have so many streams to train off of though. It was so weird. It's funny. It's funny with like I love how Hana's just cursed. No, who the hell? Yeah. No, Hana's a huge fan. Like Hana is a big fan of Shishiro Botan, which is why I tried her just to mess with Hana. I'm so sorry for that. I am so sorry for that. Oh my god. So, the mega fan. Yeah, true. Also, chat, I'm starting more art stuff soon. So I don't have a good idea of like I don't have a good idea of what to how do I say this? What to draw, you know? So 1-star band from hey yo, what? Why? It's so bad, chat. I don't know how to draw hair. Chat, I don't know how to draw hair. Look at this real quick. Look at this real quick, chat. Check this out, right? So I'm like, how do you draw hair? Like I'm just horrible at that shit. Got a layer underneath and I was like, okay. But like, how do you draw hair? Like, this is the best I can do. It sucks. I need to practice some more. Can't believe Kyo's graduating. Yeah, I'm moving on to become an artist. It's so bad. I did everything correctly though. Like you could see, I have the sketch that I wanted for it. It's like, yeah, let's do that. Let's color it in. Like get the hair on. Draw the eyes. It's just, how do you draw hair? That's my question. I unintentionally made people look 20 years older. Kinda cute though, thank you. And I'm trying. I wanna have my own chibi style, so that I'm comfortable like drawing it like, you know, from memory. Just to be able to draw people. Draw you guys first maybe. Can't believe Hana's 1-starring and banning me from streaming. Holy. More footballs. Damn. They're not puntable. But no, that was cursed. That entire conversation with Shishiro Botan is cursed. That's not gonna happen again, I promise. But, you know, chat, it's time. Time for what? Time to schedule next week. See, if CT draw himself and it'll make him look 20 years older, it's over. It'll still be the same thing. It'll still look the same. 'Cause he's already the oldest that he can be. Alright, chat, we are doing Terror Week. Oh boy! Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. Okay, let's schedule it. Let's schedule Terror Week, chat. Terror Week are for the scariest of scary games. I don't think GTFO can be included in that. Trust. So, yeah. You haven't seen them new rundowns? It's not that, it's just scary as in scary. You know? So, first off, Friday and Saturday is going to be Extra Life. It's gonna be Extra Life Day 1 and Extra Life Day 2. Day 1 is going to be 4 hours long. It's going to be 4 hours long. Day 2 and 3 are going to be 10 hours each. So, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah? So, Extra Life Day 1 will be starting on Friday at, I would say, 8 p.m. EST. 8 p.m. EST on Friday sounds good for Extra Life Day 1. Also, chat, is it daylight savings or not yet? Probably not yet, right? That's 5 p.m. This is now 1 a.m. I forgot light is now 1 hour behind. European time is now in winter, so it's gonna be 1 hour behind. 8 a.m. JST. No, 9 a.m. JST. This one is gonna start at 12. Gonna start at 12 p.m. EST. So should we do like 2? Yeah, 12 p.m. sounds good. 12 p.m. Saturday sounds good. Daylight savings ends November. I forgot daylight savings. Like it shifts. It shifts at during Extra Life. Yeah. I forgot it does that. But this is 9 a.m. I believe. And so that's going to be 5 p.m. for light. 5 p.m. on Sunday. Yeah, it's gonna be 5 p.m. on a Sunday. Or is it Sunday 5 p.m.? No, not yet actually. Yeah, that's Saturday. p.m. Saturday. And for Japan, it's going to be Sunday at 1 a.m. There you go. Do that. Yeah, that's the time. Slot 10. That's gonna be 4 hours, 10 hours. So yeah, there's your time slot for Extra Life. 8 p.m. on Friday, and then 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday. Or what we can do is probably switch it to 2 p.m. instead, so that it ends at 12 midnight. Yeah? So let's do 2 p.m. So that'd be 12. Sorry, 11 a.m. Oh god. Oh. Whew. And for light, that'll be 7 p.m. CET. And for Japan, that'll be 3 a.m. There you go. Let's end things at midnight, because I feel like more people want to drop by at nighttime at around like 10. So ending at 10 would be pretty bad for those people that want to drop. So let's do 2 p.m. EST to 12 midnight. 10 hour stream. Thank you for the hydrate. We'll probably do that. Currently 25 for me, I see. Yeah, makes sense. East Coast. Let's see here. So, our games for this week. Obviously, we are we're gonna have to the scariest games, yeah? Man, I've been putting this off for a while now, have I? Oh, I've been putting this off for a while. Shit. I really don't want this. I really do not want this. Boo. You know what? We'll save that for Thursday. We'll save that for Thursday. We'll save that for Thursday. Oh, God. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Okay, chat. Thursday. The mortuary assistant. Now, I haven't watched anyone play it in preparation for this. I've been avoiding this game for hours. Sorry, not hours. I've been avoiding this game for years. Because I know I was gonna play it at some point. So here we are. Yeah, I love your reactions, chat. The oh god's good. Good. No, I'm not coming back to Visage. Don't even, chat. Don't fucking even. I am not going back to Visage. And no, unfortunately, as much as I want to play Soma, I think it is a very puzzle-heavy game. So, it's gonna hurt my head more than it'll scare me. Let's see what else we have here. Someone getting scared and started blitzing Bible lines? Oh my god. Jesus. Let's see. Oh, joy. Angry Latina fast? Oh my god. Should we throw should we throw like a curveball into this and put in should we throw a curveball into this and put in Subnautica? Why? Oh, because of my fear of because of my submechanophobia. Do we throw in a specific game that only triggers me? Oh, do not smile at me, you fucking bitch. He knows. No, I have submechanophobia in particular. Thalassophobia, not as much. Only submechanophobia. Unless there's a game that's like super submechanophobia. You're afraid of man-made structures submerged in water? Yes. Yeah, just structures submerged in water. Why do you ask? Whack, indeed. Have you played Iron Lung? I have. It was on Horror Month last year. Man, you guys are forgetting. That was Iron Lung was part of Terror Week last year. Yeah, here I'll even link it to you. V. Here's Iron Lung. I have the memory of 3 days. Fair enough. There's my Iron Lung playthrough. I just want to point out I'm super disappointed with how Horror Month turned out this year. I mean, most of it we didn't play much, unfortunately, but I feel like I think in terms of variety we didn't play much. Last year had a lot of variety. This year was mostly Roblox and Silent Hill 2, which some indie games here and there. It's unfortunate, but I would say that's just how it is, you know. It's just a lot happened this October. You guys are very aware. A lot happened this October, from construction to personal issues recently. So yeah, but we still manage, you know. I'm happy with that regardless. But still kind of sad that we weren't able to do as much for Horror Month. But it's fine. So I looked into your suggestions chat in the Horror Month 2024 suggestions channel, and Nick, I do want to point out, as much as I want to play No More Room in Hell 2, and I was looking forward to that, the issue with No More Room in Hell 2 is that it is unfinished. It feels unfinished. It is super unoptimized, and that's why I decided to put it off. I was looking forward to it too because I love the original. But since it's very unfinished, I'll just leave it as that. Let's see. Maybe next year. Yeah, once it's fully fleshed out, I will definitely play it. Let me look at this. Let me check Chilla's art real quick. This is ballsy. But if there's a Chilla's art game that I haven't played yet, well then I think we should. Probably wouldn't fit there, but I remembered Faith. I know Faith, the Unholy Trinity. The Mortis, the fucking, the old style. I love those. Those games were good. The lore was insane, and the animations, the rotoscope cutscenes that they have were fucking terrifying. What I want for Terror Week are games that we could finish in one stream, because I can't have a multi-episode game. At most, I want the game to be at maximum 4 hours in length. 4 hours is, I think, the max I would go for Terror Week. So no long series, chat. Let's see. I'm still looking into some other horror games. What else do you guys think? Let's see. I already played most of what you guys suggested. Pilgrim was played, Decimate Drive, Pumpkin Panic, Unfend. Mortuary Assistant has now been scheduled. The Bathhouse remake has been played. Some of these are joke submissions. I only recommended Zukosis since that was basically the only horror game I knew that was coming out. And yeah, we were able to play. It was the first game I think for horror mode. Most of these are Roblox stuff. Some co-op stuff. Can't look at pumpkins the same way anymore after these past few years. Why? Why is that? The things people been doing to pumpkins ain't the vibe. Oh my fucking lord. Do not the pumpkin. Do you actually see it being done? There's no way. Amanda the Adventurer. Is 2 out? Is Amanda the Adventurer 2 out yet? I don't think so, right? It is out. It just came out. Is that I don't know if you can consider Amanda the Adventurer Terror Week, right? Would you guys consider Amanda the Adventurer Terror Week? No, yeah, thought so. It's hard to it's hard to find actual terrifying games that are 4 hours long. Most of the good horror games are pretty long, like let's say Outlast. There's also what else? Like Visage is pretty long. The Evil Within games are long as well. So yeah, I need your guys' suggestions on horror games that are 4 hours long max, and you would consider as super terrifying. There's one that Nick recommended, Scorn, but I think Scorn is like I think Scorn is a long game. So that's where I step out. Y'all bees. Now good luck with finding the games for Terror Week, big fella. Yep. Appreciate it, CT. Thanks for dropping by. Outlast Trials could be Terror Week, but I need another person to play it with though. Yeah. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk and its sequel could more than likely fit in 4 hours, but I don't know if you would consider it terror. I don't even know what that's about. There's also another game that that I would consider terror, but not a game I think I want to stream. It's called some of you are probably aware of this, V probably knows this. It's called Fear and Hunger. Fear and Hunger I would say is terror, but I don't know if it's safe to stream considering what type of game it is. Milk inside a bag of milk is like super short. You don't got any other horror game that I can think of? Yeah. Milk outside a bag of milk. Depends. How terrifying is milk outside a bag of milk? Did you say it's terror? Milk inside a bag of milk. Still looking, chat. Still looking. I'm also gonna need your guys' suggestions for Extra Life. I think a lot of the Extra Life games are gonna be co-op. 7 out of 10 on the horror scale. Really? Oh, Signalis looks interesting, but it's 9 hours long. So I already played Alien Isolation. This is hard. Let's see. What is this? Signalis mentioned its peak. Yeah. It did look interesting. Ooh. There's this game called From the Darkness. And people say the atmosphere is... Ah, I see. I will die of a heart attack if I keep playing. Okay, well. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. There's your second game for Terror Week. Also, since this is Terror Week, Outlast Trials gets a good sale. Yeah, that seems like good. This is Terror Week. This needs to be... Yep. It's yeah, that seems about right. The text needs to be special. Oh boy. Oof. see here. Here. Whoa. That is rough. Okay, here we go. Yep. Seems good. And here. Whoa. That's trippy. There we go. That looks good. Third week is red. Okay, let's see. 2 more games. 2 more games, chat. Okay. Oh, let's see. Two scary horror games. Dread X Collection. What is this? The Dread X Collection seems interesting. 10 to 15 hours though for most of it. Phasmophobia. Let's see. Garfield cart? Oh, hell no. No, thank you. Garfield card can be terrifying depending on who you talk to. Bad game design is true too. Ah, shit. basement. Hmm. Oh, let's see. I feel like this is pretty long. There's Lost in Vivo, but I feel like it'd take more than 4 hours. Let's see. 6, that's 8 hours. Yeah, I think Lost in Vivo is good. It's some people say it's 3 to 4 hours, so we're probably gonna have to start out earlier at around 8. So yeah, okay, fine. Do that. Probably start that at 8. Yeah. Actually, 9's fine. I forgot. I'm pretty busy at around that time. Let's see. One more. 2 hours and 53 minutes. Devotion. I forgot. Wasn't that game super controversial? Mouthwashing. I don't know if it's quite there. Mouthwashing. Just came out too. I feel like mouthwashing is a more artistic horror experience. Other people say it is psychological. Do I put it to a poll, chat? Okay. Let's see. No, actually. Let's do a very emotionally disturbing horror game. I'm gonna throw a wrench in the works, okay? I found the last horror game that we're playing. Detention. It is a probably 2 to 3 hour horror game from the same devs as Devotion. But apparently this game is super depressing. And super fucking like psychologically tormenting. So let's throw a wrench in the works and do that. So that's your chosen for Terror Week. Detention, Lost in Vivo, From the Darkness, and the Mortuary Assistant for the finale. This is great. I'm not looking forward to this. What do you guys think? You guys happy with this? I think I am. So, yeah. There you go. Sounds good. All right. Well, I hope I'll see you guys then for the what the goofy eyeballs? What? What do you mean goofy eyeball? Oh, from the from the schedule. Okay, that is the finale. That is your horror month finale, chat. Looks good, okay. Most of the games that you guys will recommend will not be ignored though. Some of them will be played outside of horror month, I believe. So don't worry about it. Definitely those multi-part games gonna have to be outside of horror month. That is the final. Those are the final games for a month, and then this week is gonna be packed, chat. We have the hand-picked horror games, and then we also have Extra Life at the end of the week, so that's exciting. Hope you guys will enjoy that. Light will be gone over the weekends. She will be visiting Berlin for the Miko Expo. So I think we're good. I think Light might be able to join us on the Sunday stream. Who knows? Yeah, she's gonna be out for a couple of days to go to the Miko Expo. She'll be staying in Berlin for a couple of days. Yeah. So she'll be, yeah, I don't know if she'll be able to join Friday. Probably not. But it's fine. Friday, yeah, she'll join Sunday. But that's about it, chat. We now have the horror games locked in, and we're moving on now. I'm gonna end the stream here. It's late for me now, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow, which is Detention. We'll see how terrifying it is. Everyone seems to praise it for its story and how depressing it can get. So if you guys are prone to that, I will warn you guys that Terror Week isn't for the faint of heart. And there could be a lot of like triggers and stuff during Terror Week, so please be careful. I will be putting a warning at the start of each stream to notify you guys in advance what to expect from the game that I'll be playing that night. So if it has something, let's say if it has like SA in it, if it has suicide and stuff like that, I will put a warning at the start. But outside of that, that is it. I will see you guys tomorrow for Detention, and I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a fun Just Chat. And I'll And of course, take care. Have a great Halloween, everyone. Nick, CT, Koseki, Shizu, Hana, UF, V, Aya, Chris, Brayden, Vivian, Waffle, Paxton, Shizuko, Wrong Guy, and those lurking in the back. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for dropping by. Take care and stay safe. お後がまたよろしくて、日分のまた来てください。Be kind to each other, love y'all. Have a great rest of your day, mate. And as always, I'll